Hello guys, so eFootball is out. Let's do a full breakdown of this version 0.9. This review is neutral. I will go through the positive and negative aspect of the game, so be sure to watch until the end. If you don't have the time, then the final score is 3 out of 10. So quickly, the UI and the color scheme are really bad. It's not what you expect from a big game developer. The player model is quite good, but it looks FIFA-ish, meaning like a wax figure. PES2021 looks more natural. The turf is the most disappointing aspect in the graphic department. I do not understand why a big company like Konami can produce a decent turf when modders can do it. The crowd looks like the lowest setting in PES2021. To cut short, the graphics need serious improvement. Alright, next up is cutscenes. There are additional cutscenes in this game, which is good for Master League, but we don't even know when Master League will be released. In my opinion, there should be a setting to disable the cutscenes. At least there should be a button here in the screen to go straight to the strip selection. Heck, just put the strip selection here. It took around half a minute to get to the game plan if you do not change anything. Now we have the game plan. There are a lot of things missing here. I know it's considered as a demo, but come on, there is no setting for the set pieces. You have to switch the kicker during the set piece itself. Even the typical formation is not here. You have to manually move your player to set up your formation. Switching from 4-3-3 to a 3-5-2 manually will take some time. And you have to do it every game because the save data setting is not here too. The auto lineup setting is also not here, which means you have to spend even more time to substitute the original lineup to the best players in the team. The game plan layout has been changed a bit. The substitute is now on the bottom instead of the sides. It's not a big deal, but I prefer them at the sides just like in previous PES. There is no need to use a lot of space at the sides to show the age and weight of the players. After the game plan, we have an additional cutscene, the dressing room. As mentioned before, we need an option to disable cutscenes or a separate button to go straight to the match. However, being able to skip things using the X button is definitely a positive. The tactics settings has been simplified. We have 5 preset tactics which I will go through in a separate video, but for now my comment is that we should have a little bit of freedom to choose the tactic for each situation, meaning when attacking, when defending, after gaining possession and after losing possession. Or give us the option to choose at least 2 tactics that we can switch during the match, kinda like the advanced instruction method in previous PES. This way there will be some variation to the gameplay without having to go into the game plan to change the tactic. Now let's break down the gameplay. The new stuff first. The defending system has been overhauled. The X or A button is now the matchup button. It's no longer for pressing the ball. In my opinion, this is a good thing because it allows us to properly position the player to block shots. It also will change the way the game is played, whereby pressing is not as overpowered like in previous PES. This, in my opinion, is a positive because I don't feel like I need to have the ball to play the game, because defending now is quite rewarding. We also have a dedicated button for standing tackle, the square button, which replaced the second press to complement the matchup button when the attacker gets close. This means that you have to press specific buttons timely to defend instead of just holding X and square to chase the attacker. The sliding tackle is still the same as previous game, whereby it is still locked towards the attacker instead of going straight according to your left stick aim. But it is more usable now because of the player's inertia in this game is increased significantly, which I will go through later, so don't be afraid to do sliding tackle. Using the matchup button to block shots inside the box is important to avoid giving away a penalty, so be sure to play around with that button to get used to it. The penalty system is still the same, but this time the target is blue instead of white. Another new thing in the defending system is the physical defending, the L2 button. In my opinion, the game does not need this button because it undermines the matchup system. That said, it is good to have that because football is a physical game. The button will allow for some animation like reaching out for the attacker from behind. However, it is buggy now. There are a lot of clips on the net because of this button. And it is overpowered and not consistent. Sometimes you get fouled, sometimes you don't, even though it is clearly a foul. On the attacking side, the L2 button is a dedicated button for shielding. However, the physical defending overrides shielding, so it is useless. And if you use shielding, the AI will straight away use physical defending, which means you either will lose the ball or get fouled. This will disrupt the flow of the game, so this L2 button really need to be tweaked and balanced quickly. As mentioned before, second press button has been removed. This means it will be a one-on-one game from now on, which means you must switch to the player facing the attacker. The AI won't help you. There are positive and negative with this removal, so I leave it to you guys to decide whether it's good or not. Another new thing in the game which I welcome very much is the seamless transition when the ball is out of play. My comment is that we need the option to disable the cutscene during that transition, which already occurs sometimes. This will make the game flow smoother, and it will be great if we can kick the ball quickly to take full advantage of the system, especially for a quick counter attack or a corner taken quickly. Now for the attacking phase. First we have the cross. It is similar to the previous PES. You can score and defend from a cross. There is a good balance, so nothing to comment. Then we have the corner kick. It is a little bit easier to head the ball now compared to the previous PES, whereby you have to depend on exploit to score from a corner. So the corner kick is more balanced now, which is a positive. The free kick is still the same. It's as easy as previous pass, but maybe need a little bit more power gauge to bypass the wall. You can still move the goalkeeper to block or catch the ball, so nothing to comment. It is a straightforward system which is neither good nor bad. Okay, now we are going to talk about the gameplay. The inertia. The player's inertia slider has been increased. This means that the players will have a harder time turning around, so the defenders can't keep sprinting around on the pitch, which will change the way the game is played. Using the matchup button is really important to stop dribbles and block shots. Defenders have to stand their ground and keep the formation in shape and let the attackers come to them and react accordingly, unlike in previous game where the attackers have to react to the defenders chasing them. That being said, we can always use the L2 button to press, so high press will still work, but it will be less overpowered because the attacker can take advantage of the heightened inertia by slowing down first to catch the chasing defender off guard. However, if the defender can anticipate when the attacker is going to turn, then he can slow down accordingly to avoid getting caught off guard. In my opinion, this is a good approach to the gameplay. However, the default game speed in this game feels like -1 compared to the previous game, which means the turning feels a lot heavier than it should. This game speed also affects the passing and shooting, which feels heavy and floaty. This means that the movement of the players and the ball feels not smooth and unsatisfactory. Compare the shooting with PES2021, which is smooth and have more punch to it and give you that satisfaction when you score goals. Increasing the game speed to +1 or +2 can help, but I think Konami need to adjust the coding itself to make the game feels more natural. Even with faster ball movement in +1 and +2 game speed, we can still feel that the ball is heavy and floaty, but it definitely is a lot better than the default game speed. Last one, long ball during kickoff seems to be nerfed, which is a positive. Alright, that's it for this review. There's some positive, a lot of negatives. Konami really need to do a lot of adjustment to make the game good. In its current state, I have to give it a 3 out of 10 as I mentioned at the start of the video. That being said, I will continue playing the game at least to make some tutorials, so be sure to subscribe to get updated on that. Like and comment to help with the YouTube algorithm, help a brother out, and with that, I'll see you guys in the next one.